Hi, we're making a chicken and sausage Creole Gumbo today, and I'll show you how to make a roux. So we're starting with a half a cup of vegetable oil and a half a cup of flour. I'm trying a gluten-free gumbo today, so this is a gluten-free flour. I'm not sure how this is going to turn out. We're just going to give it a shot. So I have my stove set to medium heat. It's on 5. I'll probably turn it up a little bit as we go, but this is a good place to start. So you just add the flour to the grease and mix it in well. You don't want to stir too vigorously, because if this splashes on you, it will burn you really bad. That grease will stick to you. And this is actually a combination of vegetable oil and fat from the chicken that we cooked in the vegetable oil. And so now we're going to keep stirring until it changes color and darkens to a nice dark brown. We're going to try to go as close to black as we can with this. I like a really dark, earthy, hearty roux for a chicken and sausage gumbo. You can see that it's a little darker than when we first poured it in the pot. I'm noticing that this gluten-free flour is actually quite a bit frothier than regular flour. So to get a decent feel for what color it is, I kind of have to stir it around. But you can see the nice, rich brown color coming out underneath the bubbles. As I said earlier, I've never made a gluten-free roux before, so we're going to see what happens. And you can see we've got the next shade coming on. It's just a little bit darker. I'm noticing that with this flour, it's not as sticky, it's not as thick. It might actually be a good idea for beginners, because I feel like the dangers of it burning on the pot are much, less. Just because you don't have it sticking to the bottom of the pot. And that's really what you're going after when you're stirring. Again, you don't need to stir vigorously. We're just making sure that nothing sticks. That's when it burns, so you just want to keep it kind of moving. If you see some spots sticking, just go after them a little bit. But again, we're only at temperature 5. I haven't actually turned it up at all. This is a relatively slow roux. It'll probably take about 15, maybe 20 minutes total. Okay, we're going still another shade darker here. You can see. At this point, really, your roux starts to change much more quickly. So you really got to be on it in terms of scraping the bottom. It's thickening a little. The funny thing about this flour is it's almost looking like there's cornmeal in it. It looks a little like the bottom of the fish pot, after you fry your fish. Yeah, I realize how Cajun I sounded after. Very, very much. But we got it changing colors, and we're going to keep the camera on it so you can see. I'm also going to turn up to a 6.5. Just because, I want it to move quickly. But I have to say, on the whole, this roux darkened a lot faster. This flour darkened a lot faster with the gluten-free. Now, I'm just hoping that the taste is, on par with the regular. I got my bowl of vegetables here to throw in as soon as it gets dark enough. Look at that. It's already getting darker. And the trick at this point, it's easy to get scared. I get scared still. But you just got to keep going and just hope it doesn't burn. You just got to keep going to that black roux. I can see a little smoke coming off of this. I don't know if you can see that on the camera. But it's nice and hot. And this is at 6.5. So, really this whole high heat roux thing, I think, it's fine for some. I just think for us normal people who are not chefs, keeping it mid-level is okay. And this really is looking pretty different from a regular flour roux. It's a little runnier, and I did a 1-to-1 ratio, so it's the same as it should be. I'm not sure. I just think that the gluten-free flour just didn't thicken as much. I think I'm okay with that, though. Let's see what happens. Alright, I'm going to turn the heat off, and we're going to put the vegetables in. So at this point, I usually switch to the spatula. Follow me, I'll drag it out. And you can see that it's getting even darker as we go. You want to scrape the bottom, but you don't want to scrape it too hard because we've got some bits on there, some greenies stuck to the bottom, bits of skin and whatnot. Look at that. That's pretty dark. That, my friends, is a beautiful roux. Let's just hope it tastes good. Alright, so next we're going to put some broth in there. We're going to put this chicken back in, put in some sausage, and cook it for about an hour, hour and a half, and we'll have a gumbo. Thanks for watching.